stay to watch it. Now I can't get them to come up and join us. Okay. Are you any better at getting attention than I am?
Hey! Okay.
Okay, we're going to start the show now. I didn't tell anybody what I was going to do because I thought maybe you would leave before the show. So I am not going to do art painting in front of you because you're all so much better than I am. I have nothing to teach you. So I'm going to do something that when I did it, I was the first, and between one other person and myself, we ruled the whole United States on doing food garnishes. And so it's sort of calmed down a little bit, so I've kept this a secret from all of you until now. First of all, I'll tell you about this picture. We had face painting last session, and she told you how lucrative it was. Well, nothing was more lucrative than this art, but I do it for compliments. What you're seeing here, I was paid over $1,000 for doing this for an art, for a design company. And I'm going to send some things around. You'll see some other folders. When my husband passed away 3 years ago, the coroner said to me, okay, now what kind of flowers are you going to get? Flowers? By my deceased husband, flowers? I said, no. I called Doreen. Doreen, help me. She's good with the saw and good with all these things. And so she made the form to put, because I couldn't buy styrofoam. This isn't the one that we did for my husband, but it's exactly like this. And so, I shopped and shopped and shopped until I found enough produce to fill this. Well, can you imagine? The funeral parlor smelled like onions. The church smelled like onions. And this lasted, and then some organization used it after. So this lasted for more than a week. So what we're doing lasts a long time. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to start out with some simple things, and then maybe we'll end up doing a big bonanza. This is a best-selling book that I wrote. Actually, I wrote the first half, and more than 10 Chinese men got the second half. Sorry, men, I laugh over that because I got it. It's in 3 languages in 3 countries, and I bought the book hardcover in Singapore for $50. I've got 2 books that, if anybody wants them, are available, and you can purchase them. But what I'll do is start passing one on this side, and then if you want to start passing one on the other side, you don't need to read to do this art. Just look at the pictures, my hands are done, and you do it. Okay. So the very first thing that I saw, the very first garnish that I saw was the apple bird. And I went, oh, that's my new career. And that's what started it. I was a cooking instructor, and I thought, I have to have one different thing to do. So I'll do garnishing. My first class, I had some professionals, and they asked me something, and I said, oh, I'd like to see your style. Would you show me how to do it? That's how I learned this. If you want to, I have some of these done that I used to pass around in my classes. Yes, I taught this for like 20 years. This is going to be the apple bird. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. If you wish, we'll just pass these around. I'll put the apple bird here too. And if they're photographs, somebody can keep this photo. It's okay, of this wreath. But don't look at me. When my husband died, I got so skinny that I looked like a scarecrow. Okay. So I'm going to do the apple bird. All right. So the most important thing is that you have a knife. I'm losing it. So that we have a knife that's very, very sharp. People think, well, I'll cut myself if the knife is sharp. It's the other way around. You'll cut yourself. I think I want this one. Do you want to put me together?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So the first thing that you do is you look for the prettiest part of the apple to be the top of the bird. So the bird sits on its head. So what I'll do is I'll cut a wedge. So if you cut from the left to the right and the right to the left, you will get a wedge. And don't pull it out, it has to slide. So this eventually will become the head. Okay? And I leave it forward a little bit so that I can see where the feathers on the back will be. So don't cut into the core. If you cut into the core, you're going to have a quarter apple. So I'm going to do a simple one. So I get 4 feathers, and that's enough for today. And if it doesn't slide back, like you saw me do it, then cut again, but don't snap it. If you snap it, you've ruined it. And the thing of it is, you can never waste the whole thing. I mean, if you do it wrong, just eat it. You know how many apples you could end up eating. Yes.
Eat your mistakes.
You eat your mistakes, yes. You can't do that with a paintbrush. See how I slide this back? Just so you can see, there's 1 feather, 2 feathers, and keep doing the wedge. And if you see that when I cut from the right to the left, I turn the apple around because I'm not very good at doing it from the opposite side. See how it just slides? In my olden days, when I was really good at this, I would do 16 feathers. They were paper thin, and they were gorgeous. But enough is enough. And I'm getting lucky today. So far, it's all working. You know,
I mean, you're not going to fill us up on apples today, huh?
you're not going to get an apple today. And so there I am. And there is the head. Now, you have to have wings. So you do the very same thing. Put this back, because if you don't put the pieces back, then what will happen is you'll squeeze this thing and it'll break into quarters again. Now, you're all artistic, so I know that every single person can do this. Believe me, it's just learning where to put the cuts. All right. Now, I don't know how much they printed in the brush fire about this, but I'm in uniform for another profession that I had. And you know, yes, you know, I started wearing this uniform, oh, for God, not this very one, but like this. I bet you, how old am I? Oh, God. Let's just say 35 years ago. Yes, I was a professional instructor for all kinds of foods, but this is the one that really took the show. I did openings of malls. I did Hadassah. The thing that I realized about a profession, which includes, well, not all of you, because many of you are so good you don't have to do this, but I never really asked how much am I going to get paid to do it, because I felt if people see me enough, they're going to remember me, and they might end up thinking I'm really good, and they'll spend the money. But for organizations, I just wanted to be out there. I just wanted people to come to my other classes, and I wanted them to follow me for my ethnic dining group and my walking tours of Chinatown. And you see, when you do something, you always have a back end to your profession. In other words, if they buy one thing that you do, you don't want to say goodbye to them forever. You want to keep them coming for something else that you do. And so I ended up being an importer of products with my name on them. Oh, it was a wild life. I had my own radio show. I had my own TV. I can't cut through this thing because it has a bruise. I had my own TV show, and I've published 6 books. Cookbooks, art books, I don't know what you call these things. Okay, here, this is great. This is so good. I got so lucky. Okay, so slide it back, and the reason why you slide is because it's self-sticking. Yes. Slide, slide, slide,
How did you figure that one
slide.
out? By accident?
Everything is by, it happened. That's just like my painting, like my art. Oh, what a nice accident. There you go. Now, we'll put the head on. So, oh, this is so much fun. And you know, you get so many compliments. I mean, you can just do yesterday's food and garnish it, and people just love it. Okay, so now I've got cloves for the eyes. Cloves for the eyes. I do several different kind of heads, but this one's simple and it's nice. And so now, am I driving the camera nuts?
No, you're good. You're good.
You're just good. Okay, so I'll do an open beak. Now, wouldn't that be nice if I had red toothpicks? Well, that's too sophisticated for me. All right, there we go. Now, when I want to fasten this to the body, you can't put it in this first, because when you push your apple down, it'll come. I'll hold it up. Okay, I'll put it in this first because this is more dense. And then I'll put this. So, isn't that book fun? Isn't that a fun thing? Oh, I never had.
Yeah,
Not if your knives are very sharp. And there's your sweet baby. Isn't that cute? Yes. So now I need lemon to squeeze over the top of this. Salt water, lemon, grapefruit, anything you want. So I would never just cut an ordinary lemon. Is that okay here?
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm going to show you. I'm falling apart. So that's not the only thing that's falling apart. Is that there? Isn't that gorgeous hairstyle up and down?
No, you're right.
I always look like that. I wonder what I'd look like if I combed my hair. There. No. Because I need lemon. I'm going to show you the cutest thing. It's so cute. All right. I'm going to make a fish. So what we will do, the fish, this is how we'll do it. So let's cut this flat and only do maybe a quarter slice. It's thinner than a quarter of the lemon. Oh, that's thinner. Because what I cut off is going to be the tail. Okay, so let's make it look a little more tail-like. So I'm going to put a rounded wedge or V in the back of the tail. In order to make this tail stay in, I'm going to have to cut a slit which will be flat and rounded for it to go in. So you just copy. Okay. Use it. This knife I had made special for me in France. I bet I ordered 10,000 of these. Everybody that I taught a class to had to buy it. But the men put this in upside down. I really pick on men. I'm so sorry. Can't help it. The truth hurts. Okay, make a line and then make a little. But it's really true. Every time I pick this knife up, I feel like I'm cutting myself. Now, can you imagine if you pour somebody a drink and you have to give a little squeeze of a lemon? You're going to love this so much. Tail has to stick up in the air a little bit. So, okay, just go back in and cut a nice, that's going to work. That's going to work. Okay, mouth, wide open mouth of the fish. So, again, a wedge. Again, we're back to the basics. The apple bird, a wedge out of a wedge or a V out of a V, however it's going again. How do you keep that thing so solid?
I don't know, it stays on my head. I got a bigger head, I
You
guess.
must have a slippery head. Now, I'll tell you, I won't do it today, but I have a stripper zester fluter at home. You might call it a zester or stripper. You know, this little round thing, and I usually do fish lips. So, well, I'll just do the upper lip. So I'll cut a little wedge here so you can emphasize his lip. Yeah, yeah. Okay, now you can see the lip a little bit better. See how cute that is. See, I had to sell all these products, so I had to, I had to have a stripper's ester flooter, so everybody had to buy it. I shouldn't say that to you, but I'm not selling it. I don't even get royalties from my book. That's okay, I got a buyout. But I did a party for Steve Allen and Jane Meadows. And I was found there 2 years later by someone who was at the party that actually got me that job. Actually, he was on the design center. So again, you never know where you're going to meet people. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm making a little bit, if you remove the skin, then you can see, boy, and I'm dripping up my sleeve and everything else. Then you can see where the eye should go. And so I'll insert a clove so that you can see the eye. I'll put this together, and there you'll be, ready to pour a drink and put a squeeze of a lemon. Yummy. Don't lose the living room, by the way, talking about a drink. I go there almost every Wednesday night. They have dueling piano. And I went there when it was altogether different. Last week it changed to this. But I met with Zach again and the decorator, and they're interested. But they're going to be easy to lose if they don't get some paintings in there. Now, Barbara, you're so good to get on it. That's good. I'll probably see him again tomorrow night. He's usually at the Black Pearl. He doesn't hang around in that cheap place. He only hangs around at the Black Pearl. That's so expensive. I haven't been there.
He was there for lunch the other day.
Yeah? Did you enjoy it?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Black Pearl?
Someplace on Main Street. Yeah.
Dunedin?
Where's the
Next
Black
to
Pearl?
Kelly's.
Doreen, you know where the
Yeah,
Black
far
Pearl
side.
is, no?
It's right across from MJ's.
You walked in and walked back out. It's expensive. Okay. I have the scissors. Just make sure no one's around when you cut that. Okay. There. There you are. And so you can just squeeze it right in your drink. You can squeeze it right on the apple, but I'm not going to do it now. So there you are, little guy. Thank you. You should have a lemon and a lime at your bar. Yeah.
Oh,
Phew. I thought I got shot. Okay, that's done. Now, I'm going to do a simple thing for you. Look at this. Can you imagine how long it took me to cut this carrot? God, that was a big job. And you know where my carrots are? Whoops, I just broke it. My carrots are sitting probably in the driveway, someplace between here and my house. Oh, I thought I'd never get done. Look at these. I'm going to show you how to do these on a zucchini. Look how adorable that is. And you know, you just do one basic one and then use a slicer or cut them by hand and put them in water for a little while, and they all curl up, and it's just so cute. All right. I'm going to do...
Now, do any of the vegetables need to be lubricated in lemon juice so they don't turn brown, or is it just apples?
Only apples. And it doesn't have to be lemon, it can be any citrus.
Well, pears would, wouldn't it?
Pardon?
Pears.
There's brown
Well,
as well.
pears turning dark. Do such cute quails out of pears. I didn't have to do that. All right, I'm going to show you. I usually, you know what the tragedy is here? You can't buy parsnips, the white ones, which are turnips.
Walmart.
But they're waxed. They're waxed.
Oh,
God, I used to buy them like gross at a time for my glasses. Okay, how to make a rose. What did I just do with the rose? This rose didn't open up as much as it should have. But I'll show you how you can really make this open. You know, everybody, you can touch these, you can do what you want with these if you want to pass them. Okay. I will go halfway up. And as though you're peeling the radish, but go deep at the bottom or it'll look like you've got a bunch of peelings hanging off. Just round, 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 follow round, round, and see how I can open that up immediately?
That's a big radish.
Yes, I drove a day and a night to find large radishes. They're hard, and I found them by bulk. I didn't have to buy the whole bunch, but they were much more expensive to be able to pick. And my carrot, which is someplace on a driveway someplace maybe, was huge. It was so huge. Okay, now you can't see the petals if I do another row of petals immediately behind. Just like in painting, you have to show some dark or some contrast in color so that you can see where to start your next row. So in between each petal, I'll start again. If you watch my hand, I kind of turn it toward the middle, go thin and toward, and again, someplace if you can see. I'm going to cheat on this one, I'll do less. And then cut out a little bit behind. There, I shouldn't pull it out. Sometimes when you pull like that, again, it's that V shape. If this cut going down meets this cut going in, the piece will fall right out. Okay, we're getting there. So then you do another one. And this you don't have to round quite as much, but you just a nice radish. Also, do produce at room temperature. I left the radishes out overnight so that they wouldn't crack. Okay, I'll pass this around. I mean, I'll let you all touch this because this is pretty good. Now, if it
All
didn't turn out
produce at
really
room
good.
temperature?
Please excuse me.
All produce at room temperature?
Easier to carve because you know when they're cold, they tend to snap. Yes. But I do whatever happens to be, huh? But it is easier. You know what? I'm going to leave that little bit. Okay, if I put this in water, this would just... And if you want to mind getting your hands dirty here. So you can see this. Would you like to pass? You're more than welcome. And it doesn't take a lot to do it. Now, salt shaker? Is that what you do? I was brought up eating butter on radishes.
Butter?
I don't eat radishes. I never buy radishes.
Is that something I know a few people do? I'm going to do something so good and every day for you. And that will be for appetizers. Let's do little bitty cups. Now, I showed you the radish rolls about cutting round, and I will do that on the zucchini. Now look, if it doesn't turn out, you stuff it with some kind of cream cheese stuffing or something. There's these, what do you put in things these days? Okay, again, notice how I hold everything. You can't cut yourself. It's just not possible. I go toward the center and around so that the peak of my knife goes into the center, because if the knife cut hits in the center all the time, it has to come off. Now, can you imagine how adorable just a little bitty stuffing or what do you put inside the stuff? Absolutely wonderful. Absolute little tiny dip, a little ice cream. What?
Gotta eat it, cream cheese.
Flavored cream cheese, a little see, you guys are good. You can just come up with the answer. And I will do hundreds of these for a big party. And isn't this a lovely thing to do?
That's cute.
Now, on some of in the book, you'll see vegetable floral arrangements that I use a cabbage for a base. Put a toothpick in this, and maybe a little piece of another vegetable on the end of the toothpick, which I have a cute little one here that I don't find. Well, whatever it happens to be, never mind, I'll just take a piece. I had one cut out, so cute, with a cookie cutter. And that's another great thing I used to do is wholesale cookie cutters, for gosh sakes.
What about you? We didn't know all these details about you.
I'm not going to tell you any more right now. I changed careers every 7 years. I shouldn't say this. And with every husband, I had a different career.
Now what's the new career?
No wonder I even blew up my head. And that's why I'm not changing my name this time.
She's not putting it on right.
Can I holler? Yes. I'm really good at this.
Looking good. Okay.
Oh my God. Hang on. Everything fell apart. 1 minute.
Parts are in your hair.
Would you lose?
Okay, I'm okay. Oh, I just don't know where to start. There's so many good things. I'm going to do a mushroom for you. And wait until you see this.
What's the mushroom going to be?
Surprise.
You'll have to name it.
Okay.
It's all done with the peak of your knife. And it's all done with depression. The peak goes to the center. And hold it like this. Otherwise, if you just go like this, your mushroom you'll have slices. Okay. To the center, press, to the center, press, to the center. And I'm going to make a starburst by going to the center instead of the star going away from the center. All right. There.
You peel the mushroom first?
Pardon?
You peel the mushroom?
No. In fact, I don't even wash it. No water on it. You might, mushroom brushes or just dust it a little bit, It only grows on, what they grow on. It's okay. So we'll just do more depressions, but wait till you see. This is outrageous. If you look at the picture, do I have blue and red and purple mushrooms? Can you find a mushroom? I know I must have mushrooms on there.
Oh, man. I think I see.
Oh, yeah.
Blue?
Yeah, because I see the petals.
Do I have to walk around and look? Do you see a mushroom?
Yeah. Well, there's,
I can't imagine that I would do an arrangement without mushrooms.
Yeah. and-
I bet you're right. I know you're right. I'm going to do another one that I will dye, and then you'll see the difference. If you want to pass this one to look at how it looks at, because once I dye it, you don't want to touch it. Or we'll all have the same color, and I always do blue, and you know what's crazy? People eat them. I just laugh. Oh, I just burst out laughing, and they always take the colored ones.
well, food coloring is that.
It's just food color.
It's food
It's,
coloring, isn't it?
Food coloring.
Cake coloring, yeah. I'm going to quickly do one to the center, to the center, to the center. I mean, can you imagine when I catered, or even in my restaurants, I never put anything out if it wasn't garnished. And most of the jobs came because of the presentations. So that meant I spent many day and night doing this. And I taught 13 classes a week, had a catering business, had a radio show, imported products, sold housewares, merchandise, and a couple more things all at one time.
Just a little paper.
That was husband number one. I'm teasing. I'm so sorry they all died. It's not funny. Just not funny.
What special extracts did you use in your vegetables?
When I taught class, I thought, I could write a book, Kill 'Em with Kindness. More dessert, more dessert, more dessert. Now, if I do this onion flour, then I'll show you how to color it, because the onion is very dramatic when it's colored. Okay, so what a mess I make. Oh my gosh. All right. Now, how do you do this?
You haven't made one for a couple of weeks, right?
We won't know the difference.
Years and years and years. Don't cut through the middle of the onion. And that's why you think about that all the time, because if you cut through the middle of the onion, it just opens up. So what I will do is start at the top, and I will cut through maybe 4 or 5, depending. Ooh, this is a tough one. And I'm not peeling it, but maybe it's better if you did peel it. What is this onion made out of?
How many stitches have you had?
I will tell you. I'll tell you a secret. In the olden days when we used brown paper bags, and I've cut myself plenty of time in front of audiences, if you take a little piece of a brown paper bag and you hold it over the sore, it stops in 10 minutes. And it heals. True story. Because you can't leave little red dots on them. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
Do you still have 10 fingers?
If I can remember how to count. No, I really did not cut myself. I don't say I don't, because that's dangerous right now. I really did not cut myself, because you make sure that these knives, look, I'm controlled. This always, I'm bracing against this. So I'm not going like this. Okay, so there I go. And I'm just about done. I know that you saw on one of those plasticized laminated cards, you have a pink onion opened up.
Yes.
And okay, so now the secret is you've got to gently, I'll do it here. See, the danger of that is open it easy, 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 one way around and press it. Am I going to bother you terribly if I set this down?
I mean, does it smell the onions?
Oh, here I am, almost crying. And now, I'm going to have to make sure that this will be straight. This is where you could really slice yourself. Okay. You know, this is a good way to chop onions, too. This is really going to be quite lovely. Oh, we're just about ready for the good show.
I wonder if that's how they do the bloomin' onion.
There's a machine.
Oh.
Oh, it's a machine?
Yeah. There you go.